Welcome back, Turtleholics. In today's video, I'm going to be discussing whether or not turtles are high maintenance. I'm going to review everything that I do on a daily, weekly, and monthly basis to take care of my turtle, and then discuss approximately how much time that takes. For starters, in terms of things that I have to do every day, number one, obviously I have to feed her. This will depend on the age of your turtle. You're either gonna have to feed them either once a day, every other day, older turtles maybe every 3 days. But I don't really look at this as much of a task. It's actually kind of fun to me. I feed my turtle usually every morning when I wake up. She's always really excited to see me. Takes honestly 20-30 seconds, so not long at all. Some people do install turtle feeders, automatic turtle feeders, but I advise against that unless you're going out on vacation, just because sometimes, it can overfeed or underfeed, and you just want to make sure that you are giving your turtle the right amount of food. Secondly, on a daily basis, I'm also just going to take a look at my turtle tank once or twice just to make sure that nothing's wrong. I'm also going to be picking up with my net any sort of like big debris, maybe either from the driftwood or plants, just, taking it out of the water just so it doesn't clog up the filter. Even if you do have a large tank, things can go south pretty quickly. If you have a filter that gets clogged up, or maybe a heater that malfunctions, your turtle tank conditions can actually deteriorate in less than 4 or 5 hours. But these kind of wellness checks, you can call it, also are very short, takes 20-30 seconds at most. And it's just good to keep an eye on your turtle, so if there is a problem, you can identify it quickly and then solve it before it gets worse. In terms of things you have to do every day, that pretty much covers it. Just the feeding and then the spot cleaning and checking in on your turtle. Now let's talk about the things that you need to do every couple of days or once a week. So once a week, I am doing partial water changes, but if it's looking a little nasty, sometimes up to 50%. I usually just use a bucket. This doesn't take too much time, probably 10 minutes or so. Just removing the water from the tank and then filling up the water and then replenishing the tank with new water. The frequency of how often you should do this is going to depend on a couple factors, including the size of your tank as well as the type of filter you have. If you have a large tank that has a very strong filter, you might not have to do water changes every week, maybe every other week. But this is actually very important. If you ignore this, then you're actually going to end up doing more work in the long term because one, it's not going to be good for your turtle's health, but secondly, if you don't do regular water changes, at least partial water changes, then the water is actually going to get dirtier quicker, and then that'll result in you having to either have very dirty water or having to do full water changes. Also, I have fish kept with my turtle, and they also add to the amount of waste in the tank, so that's another reason why I do it once a week. But if you just have your turtle, you're gonna have to do water changes less frequently. In terms of monthly, I would say I usually do a full water change once a month, and this obviously helps with the water chemistry. It helps remove a lot of the bad harmful chemicals such as ammonia, and it also just helps keep things clear. As part of those full water changes, I will also do more of a thorough cleaning of my substrate and then also other parts of the tank that might be getting a little yucky. Also, every month or two, I will clean the sponges in my filter. And that doesn't take too long, maybe just 5 to 10 minutes as well, but definitely something you want to do regularly just to keep your water clean. I'd say all in all, when I do a full water change and do a full cleaning, it usually takes an hour and a half. But like I said, this is only done monthly, so still not that much time when you compare it to other types of pets. Also, once a month, I do try to take my turtle out somewhere, just, give her some enrichment and also to get out in front of the sun. Last month, I took my turtle to Central Park and she absolutely loved it. This is not mandatory at all. I just do it because one, I enjoy it, but also two, it is good to, let them get out of the tank every now and then and explore and just, keep them enriched. And that just about covers it in terms of, things that I do on a regular basis. I do also test the water chemistry every now and then, but so far, the chemicals have been good and there's not too many harmful things in there. So I don't do that as frequently. All in all, per month, I would say it takes maybe 3 to 4 hours. That is kind of more on the lower side, maybe more like 4 to 5 hours per month. But when you compare that to, any other type of pet, especially like a dog or a cat, you're obviously, it's a lot less time and it's a lot less maintenance. Turtles, I'm a little biased here, but I think if you have the right setup, you have a big enough tank with a strong enough filter, and you're doing the daily check-ins and cleans, and then also the partial water changes every week or so, I really don't think turtles are that high maintenance. I do have a couple tips if you're just getting started and getting your first turtle, just to ensure that you don't overdo it and kind of bite off more than you can chew. For one, definitely start out with just one turtle. The second you start adding more turtle, that's just more work, more maintenance that you're gonna have to deal with. Also with fish, if you want to add fish, I would definitely wait a little bit. just to make sure that you're able to handle just the turtle itself, because adding fish will add more waste and more maintenance that you have to do. Also, I don't have plants yet. I do plan on getting some, but if you do have some plants, you are gonna have to, do some maintenance around that, whether it's trimming or just, removing any loose leaves from the water. It will depend on how many plants you have. This could be every couple of days or, every couple of weeks. But that's also just something to keep in mind if you do plan on getting plants. So if you're just getting started, I would try to keep it as basic as possible, just with one turtle and decorations, and then kind of move on from there once you're comfortable with that. But it is important to understand what you're getting into when you do get a turtle. While it's not that much work, you do need to be diligent, you do need to keep a close eye on it, and you need to make sure that you have the right setup so they can prosper and be healthy. Thanks for watching, and see you on the next one.